video on?
Yeah, of course it is.
There we go. Walk on up there and sock yourself in the stomach. No. You better fucking get in there. What happens next time you say sorry?
Oh.
She wants to what happens?
So bad right now. I don't know. I don't want to get the...
I have to punch myself in the stomach?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. You trying to show off? You got some abs?
Sounds like some abs in there.
Man.
Avoid my...
That sounds like some abs in there.
You're,
What do you have?
What do you got? What's going on?
Peas
we burn?
Sip.
Shingles.
Singles.
Clap?
Singles. 99-9.8. We are at... Shit, I just had it too. 5:28 Monday, June 3rd. My phone force updated again.
Oh, son of a...
This time it did something even weirder. Like, for the longest time, you could just kind of like back out of it, and it just wouldn't do it, you know? Mm-hmm. Now it won't let you do shit. It's like, you can delay this 8 more times. You can delay this 7 more times. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'll set it. I'm like, okay, update at 2 a.m. in the morning. Mm-hmm. And the next day it'll be like, you can delay this 4 more times. You motherfucker, I said update it. What is that noise? What's this?
It's you.
We probably just got blocked on YouTube. It's probably sensed it.
Since would you hear some
he listened to music today,
some Tupacs?
So we're gonna cut all the audio.
Some 50 cents.
Today flew by.
It did. Yeah.
Today flew by.
Yeah, and tomorrow's gonna go even faster. Gotta go pick up fucking vans and trucks and shit. Get everything loaded up.
Packed.
Start packing tomorrow.
All day.
It's easy.
The van was fucking half empty last time, right?
Fuck no, half empty. That fucker was packed to the gills.
I thought we had a bigger van.
No.
What do you get, like a transit van?
Yeah.
No,
it
was.
But Amanda orders it, so
like
you
the
don't
knockoff
really, you don't know really what you're getting. Like
2 seats in the front and just all cargo.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, so Enterprise all of a sudden is like, we don't rent vans. We're like, we've rented vans for 4 years from you guys. They're like, nope, we've never rented vans. I'm like, well, what are these emails right here? Because we rented them from you, so now we get the U-Haul, and the U-Haul one seems to be a little smaller. Like there's a Ford F-250, deal, mm-hmm. But then there's like an extra large, extra tall. The first year we got that, and that thing was fucking enormous. Like you could stand straight up in that thing.
I think it's time to get a Sprinter.
I just don't want to fucking spend the money on the fucking Mercedes. Like for as little as we're driving that thing, we get a Ford Econoline for $20. You're gonna get anything equivalent for Mercedes.
Well, I say Sprinter in the like it's time to get Kleenex. Like it's time to get a van.
For one, but the reality is for one trip a year.
No, because there's a 1,000 times where he's been like, I almost bought this thing. So maybe it'd be better, best interest for his wallet not to get one, but because he'd go to the swap meets or whatever, flea markets, and be like, if I only had a van, all right, fine, I won't buy.
But if you're looking at it from a purely business perspective,
it's a good idea.
You can rent a U-Haul truck in Nashville. You don't need a van for that.
Plus, the hassle of renting the U-Haul prevents me from
buying.
Yeah, I haven't been buying shit, man. So they did go fast. Fucking ton of backpacks. Alright, I guess
they all had
They all had
logos on
Strider on. That's what I had them run. Like we have backpacks already. I just had them run some Strider shit. This will be the year. Every time we go there, they're like, we run out the first day. This will be the year that we don't sell any of that shit.
Hey, and
in which case we'll just fucking
put it all.
We'll just take a piece of Velcro and sew over the face of it. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, we're going to have a lot of Strider gear, which means we're going to have a lot of Strider people coming down.
We always do. We always have a bunch of Strider people.
Very rarely is there one, not the other.
What?
Like a guy that likes Strider that doesn't like us, or vice versa.
No, I'm talking about actual Strider people.
Oh.
That are going to come down and want some good deals, but then that coin doesn't flip the other way. So,
well, because the dudes working, a lot of the dudes at the booth, right? Those are dudes that show up. I don't know if they're not
Yeah,
employees,
they're not
right?
employees.
So they come
Maybe the
down.
colonel.
They come down, but they don't have any say on any of that pricing shit.
We should just tell him you got to go through Josh.
Yeah.
Josh will get us a markup.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh handles all that.
Sorry, guys, this show's not open yet. What is it? Mountain House?
Josh finger.
Oh,
the
Josh
Josh
finger.
The stink finger.
Yeah.
John, showing your six pack was great. Whenever I show mine, I qualify by saying it's an insulated six pack.
Okay.
Most people here in the UK, myself included, have a family pack. Electric is easy to fix. It's finding the issue that is usually the problem. Man, at this rate, it's gonna be a 10-minute podcast.
5 minutes and out.
With modern circuit tracer electrical testers, non-contact voltage testers, clamp meters, and GFCI testers, most our guesswork is done. The only real challenge is getting your master electrician's license, insurance, and buying the right tools. Oh shit, Trump Jr. said all of them. Laugh out loud. Thanks SOE and crew for the awesome podcast. And whoever said it, buy it all. I don't hate you, baller.
Buy it all. That's
all of them.
That's Pierre.
All of them.
All of them. How many T-shirts do you want? All of them. That's this motherfucker right here. It doesn't matter what it is. If we go, if a mouse runs through the kitchen, John will be like, "We got to go to Walmart." We'll go to Walmart. Every fucking trap he'll throw into the basket. We'll have 300 traps in the basket.
But we'll never have to go again.
This makes
we're almost
argument.
We're almost to the point where we
all
don't.
Of them.
I don't even go to Walmart, but every 6 months now.
I go, John. How many extension cords do we need? All of them.
But this makes my argument of fuck you money. We keep going back and forth on this.
The only thing.
No, I do not have.
The only.
I have Camden fuck you money.
The only fuck you is every time John.
And I keep trying to give it away in the form of employment. We had 2 motherfuckers come in today. Two people.
Can I jump in on this right now?
Go ahead.
I was like,
I told you.
Okay, hold on.
Didn't I fucking tell you?
Before.
I told you when we walked out of the courthouse what was going to happen.
Okay, wait. So, we're at the courthouse. Lovely lady. And,
I'm like,
hey,
come on.
are you so
you can see where this is.
You know what I mean? Yes. John's like, yes. You guys work there? Yes. My daughter's looking for a job. Okay. Send her. And John gives her the spiel. Just have her show up, ready to work. We'll put her to work right away. If she likes it and we like her, you know what I mean, we'll have a job for her. If I can hire 20 employees. I mean, like, does the spiel that everybody's heard, right? So, I remember hearing, yeah, her father has talked to you already about her or something. And John has 1,000 people talk to him, but I was like, that clicked. So, a lady walks in and an older gentleman who seems to be her father.
Hold on. At the court, and now we say courthouse. We weren't actually in the courthouse. We were downstairs getting tags for a truck.
Clerk, we're at
registration on a truck. So the lady's like, "Do you guys work at SOE?" Yes, we do. Do you own SOE? Yes, I do. My daughter's looking for a job. Cool, just send her in. Yeah, I told her she's gonna have to come in and tell you everything. I go, probation, not a problem. I go, probation's usually our best starting out employees when they're new while we're teaching them because they're drug tested. Just send her in, no problem. So she goes, what's the best time? I go, yesterday. Send her in right now. So girl comes walking in today with a dude, and he says, and this is always the flag. It's usually dad making her get a job, boyfriend making her get a job, bitch, you better get a job, whatever it is, right? She comes walking in with a man who's older than her, and he goes, she's looking for a job. I go, are you looking for a job? She goes, yes. Are you being held or forced to do this? Are you being held against your will? She goes, no, I want a job. I go, okay. So I take her right over. Dora puts her on a sewing machine. She starts sewing. She's in here for about an hour. Dad's kind of looking around. He's a local cop, turns out. He buys a belt, and he's like, I'm going to go sit in the car. So she's in here for about an hour. She tells Dora, I'm going to go tell him that I'm working till 5. I'll be here till 5. She goes, ask what time we close, 5. Okay, I'm going to tell him I'll be here till 5. She goes outside. About 20 minutes later, I'm like, where'd she go? She goes, I don't know. She walked outside to tell her father that she's going to work till 5 and never came back in. I go, what? So I go out there thinking they're out there. No, they left. It's like she fucking did not come back. And I looked right at Pierre. I go, I told you.
Because once I realized it was her, I made the deduction that it was her. I was like, John, because everybody's running back and forth the whole day, like he's got his headphones in. So I'm waiting for him to turn around and like make eye contact or take his headphones out so I can be like, oh, that's the chick from the courthouse. Well, you fast forward and he's like, hey, that's the chick from the courthouse. And I was like, man, I've been waiting to tell you. All right, cool. Like, we got a new employee. You know what I mean? Like, and 30 minutes later, he goes, she ain't out in the parking lot. She gone. And I was like, motherfucker.
You got to go through like 10.
So, dude comes in, big huge chest on this kid. I'm not sure if they're titties or it's chest. I'm like, what the fuck have you been eating? You do a lot of push-ups? He goes, I'm going in the Army. I go, cool. When do you go in the Army? I was supposed to go last month, but I got in a car accident. Cool. When do you go in the Army? Hopefully next month. So he's in here looking for a job. I take him straight. I go, how do you know about us? He goes, I know your son. How do you know my son? I went to school with him. So I take him straight to Cody. I'm like, put him on something, give him a pattern, have him start tracing and cut and get a taste of this. 10 minutes, the kid's back up front. I go, what happened? He goes, I got to go see the recruiter in Dixon. I go, okay, so you'll be back in here later today? And he never gives me a straight answer. I go, motherfuckers that want to do shit, they just do shit.
What?
So he leaves. So I go to Cody. I go, what the fuck happened? He goes, I told that motherfucker that if he came in here and asked for a job, you were going to put him straight to work. Don't come in here unless he's prepared to go to work. He acted all surprised.
I don't understand.
That's how, dude.
I really don't like. This is like a whole new world.
How many people have come in and asked for a job and then they're surprised when you're like, sit down and work?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
And they come in, and it's crazy too, because they'll come in, they're like, I'm losing my house. Can I please have a job? I'm like, I don't know. Sit down, work. Let's see. Oh, I can't do that today. You just told me you're losing your house. You just told me your kids are in fucking foster care and you need to get your kids back and you have all these fucking expenses and your fines and you don't have a car and you're here asking for a job, but you don't want to work.
So I'll say this. I've jumped through a few dealerships, right? And like, as a tech, you never expect to work right away because there's legalities. There's paperwork to sign.
These are not techs. These are people who have they're not even currently employed.
Right, like I have to and big corporations, like you gotta get background checked and drug tested and X, Y, and Z, and they gotta make sure, like, hi, I'm a master technician, pay me $60 an hour. Oh, okay, and I don't know how to change oil. You know what I mean? Like, there's the work here, while not diminishing by any means, but like, here's a cardboard, here's a marker, draw, or Dora's going to give them something like, I need you to push this pedal and make this line go straight. Right? Like, they're not getting anything that, and I'm oversimplifying it by a lot, but like, you shouldn't be really surprised when it's like, all right, go to work. Like, but I've counted them. It's been three.
Yeah, you're going to go through more. And it doesn't count if they've already worked here before.
No. 3 new ones. One stayed so far, and then one lasted 20 minutes, and the other one lasted an hour.
It's fucking crazy, man.
It's unreal.
It's here. It's
gotta be the water.
Did you see? Did somebody mow a fucking giant penis in the grass near an airport where Trump was supposed to be coming into land?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see anything about that. But
it's all over Facebook. If that happened, Trump wouldn't be mad about it.
He would laugh at it.
If you did that, because I was coming in, I'm like,
that's what I'm about to say.
Rad.
I think he would laugh at it. I don't think he'd be all uptight about it.
It was a big fucking mowed penis.
More importantly, he didn't see it.
Well, he don't give a shit.
But he didn't even see it.
Yeah.
What do you think? When the plane's coming in, he's like, oh my God, it's the first time I've ever been to Florida. Look at all is that a penis? He didn't even see that shit. He didn't fucking see it.
He's seeing it right now.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, he didn't see it.
Do you really think, if you're going to do some shit out of spite to a man with power like that, do you think that he won't fuck your life up? If he truly is mad about that, I mean, dudes get fucked up all the time over silly shit they say on the internet. Do you really think that the fucking Secret Service won't come snatch your ass up? And
the only person you need to be afraid of is Nancy Pelosi. That's it.
Why?
So
I should have said why. I fucked up.
No, you know that the Democrats, 6 Democrats, were going to run against her as Speaker of the House. And she said, "Go ahead, make my day." Within 3 weeks, every single one of them dropped out. Because she's old school.
How is Hillary Clinton speaking at a cybersecurity fucking conference?
Because
it's got to be bullshit.
It's the cheapest thing that she could probably get. But, so, this dude, as a joke, just recently, he took one of Pelosi's speeches and just slowed it down. Just slowed it down a little bit, and it sounds like she's totally drunk.
That's the whole thing going around.
Pelosi had that motherfucker doxxed. Like, his criminal records, his arrest records, his house, his wife, she had that motherfucker doxxed. There was a Democrat in Florida that was going to run against her. That after all those other people dropped out, she's like, fuck it, I'm going to be Speaker of the House. That week, a letter came out about this Democrat in Florida who was supporting a judge who was convicted of child molestation. That day, she's like, yeah, fuck it, I can't play this game. That's the only person you need to worry about is Nancy Pelosi. That bitch is a gangster. Gangster.
I don't have.
Here's what I think.
I don't have a problem with doxing a motherfucker.
Here's my thing. If you're
gonna play the game, you better not have some shit in your background.
If we just never say her name again.
Who?
Nancy Pelosi.
How do you
or
know?
all of them. Just never talk about them.
They'll still be there.
No, I got you, but like, eventually they won't.
Well, she's gonna die. That's the only reason why she won't be there.
What takes her place?
But how does this not feed her getting votes?
This?
Yeah.
This doesn't.
This don't feed
well,
her.
Half of your audience is watching.
Nobody here is going to vote for Nancy Pelosi.
Well, I'm not saying
First
anybody
off-
is, but my point is like.
First off, Nancy Pelosi is from California, so she's guaranteed. She was in there when Reagan was president.
Jesus Christ.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
She was in there when Reagan was president. Nobody's not voting for Nancy Pelosi.
It's got a pen pocket in the pocket.
You just went and bought, like we've talked for. This is typical you.
Oh, here we go.
Think about it. This is typical you. What pants do we wear?
They don't get big enough.
Is that okay? All right.
They go to 42s.
All right, you get a pass. Pierre speaking the truth.
You
Mobile
could have
detail.
got 42s and cut them and put elastic in the sides.
Or he could have worked out for 90 days and fit the 42s. Pierre is speaking the truth.
Next year.
Mobile detail and a complete recondition. 2 different procedures. Recondition is its own number depending on condition and your wallet and love of your vehicle. Thanks, SOE crew, for the awesome podcast. Brian Fraser.
Hey, speaking of that, because it got brought up while you were,
Dying.
sneaking home.
Oh, okay.
Why can't that ceramic shit?
What about it?
Could you put it on a gun?
Yeah, you asked that, didn't
No,
you?
somebody asked that in the thing. If
Sure.
we
We thought
could be put
maybe
on
the
a gun.
temperature was an
outside?
issue.
Yeah, on the outside of a
Why
gun.
would you want to do that?
So you could just fucking hose it off and walk away from it?
Without it rusting and shit.
Would it
don't
work
see
the
why not.
same way it
I
would
don't see
work on
why
a
not.
car? Is it clay though?
No, it's a
Remember, it's like Rain-X for your paint.
yeah. It's just only this big, and it's ceramic. You put it on a rag, and
It's really that
it
big.
gets sticky. Yeah, like it's $400 for a thing that big.
And
4
you
ounces.
just like pump spray it.
You put a drop on a rag, and it covers a big section like this.
They used to have that. Remember that color mat shit? It was like a wax that was colored.
Yeah.
But my mom had like this fucking sun faded S10 Blazer,
Yeah.
right? It was beat. It was like fucking.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell. It used to be red. It used
Yeah.
to be some kind of color.
Yeah.
And she put that shit on there, man. It looked fucking brand new
Yeah,
for
I
about
remember
6
that.
months.
I remember that.
You
That's
should
how
have
I
one of your
picture it.
boy put a little spot on one of your guns.
Yeah, but like, why?
I don't know.
I mean,
Why don't we do anything?
There ain't nothing that doesn't come. There is
why don't-
nothing that doesn't come.
Why don't we?
Cerakoted, nickel plated, or
Why do we fucking
nitrited?
put nitrite and boron and all that other shit on there? We don't need to. We don't need the Cerakote gun.
Okay, so I'll get an FFL here in the next couple weeks, and for $1,000 a gun, I will.
You better shut your mouth, because I guarantee you there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, here it comes.
Okay, that's fine.
Because in the coating business, $1,000 is not a lot of money.
How about a purple EDC belt, low pro, whatever? I would love to buy one if they're ever made, or possibly even black with purple thread. Okay, so here's how you do that. You buy a gray base or a black base EDC or low profile belt. You order multicam. Turn that vibrator off. You order multicam. Notice you never hear my phone. You order multicam and put in notes that you want purple as your secondary color. And that's how that happens. So if you order like black purple, right? You're going to get black around thread on the black. You're going to get purple thread on the purple. If you want the contrast, you have to order contrast thread. So just put in there what color you want.
That would look good.
It does. I think we've built a couple of those.
I think Jess had one.
Yeah, I think so. I think I built hers. Yep. Skully, not sure, but maybe a casing, PVC or something. Never use the shit. Farmers are the local YouTube of how to sometimes. Thanks, SOE and crew, for awesome podcast.
No idea.
I don't know what he's talking about. Hey guys, I have a Taurus PT99 from the 90s and it works pretty good. Skully, do you store your mags loaded or unloaded? Have a good one.
There's no difference if they're loaded or unloaded.
Jeff disagrees.
No, I don't disagree. No. It's about unloading and loading.
Yes. So if you have a 15-round pistol mag,
I'm very suspicious. I don't disagree, but I'm very suspicious
Pat Mac
of that voodoo technology. I know the Auto Man's going to be like, yes, they're perfectly fine. I have had mags loaded for 5 years, and I'm not like, oh, these aren't going to work. They still work, but I still try not to do that, which is
Jagger's got a long running experiment. He said, I think he's got something that are 15 years loaded.
Yeah,
and he's going to run through them.
They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to work fine. It's just my inner superstition that is telling me don't do that.
So
but the reality is,
don't do that. Being let them sit around.
Yeah, for 15 years. So, but the reality is,
not.
That's my inner suspicion. But it doesn't. Pierre's completely right. It does not matter. It's the loading of the magazine. It's the actual magazine.
Call it. That's podcast 100.
It's the actual magazine that when you're loading and unloading it's the use of the spring that makes that tension.
So let's take this one step farther.
If you just get in $1,000, you wouldn't have to.
Let's take this one step farther, because everybody always wraps their brain around mags loaded, unloaded, blah blah blah. Cool.
28 or 30.
So whatever your interval belief of springs are, go ahead and replace every spring in your AR.
It's cheap.
What do you mean?
I think that's different, man.
It's the same. It's a spring.
It's not the same.
You
know as well as I do, it is not the same spring.
So how many springs are in an AR? A handful? 3, 4?
Yeah, but those springs aren't loaded. Meaning there's no load on those springs. So unless you have the hammer
buffer
back,
tube's loaded. A buffer
no, it is not. A buffer tube spring is not loaded.
Not all the way, but it's loaded.
Yeah, but it's not loaded. There's no load on that buffer tube when it's sitting in there just chilling.
20%
until it comes back.
Man, maybe
Impressive.
5.
Let's say 20%.
My point being is a spring is made to do this. If it's all the way compressed or it's all the way out, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying to you. I'm speaking to you for them.
Yeah.
When you find the World War II ballpoint pens, everybody knows that if that ballpoint pen was open at that point, it might not close when you go to close it.
Really?
Yeah, because it's under tension. I store all my ballpoint pens are stored tip in. They're circumcised. They're not circumcised. Because now it's under tension.
Okay.
100 years from now, that little coil spring might give way.
Also, mags are a disposable item. You're supposed to use them.
Did you see it? Did you just see his eye twitch?
Are they not?
He had a little
Are they not? Is the mag not disposable? Not disposable.
Not in the Marine Corps, they're not.
Not disposable. That's not the right word I'm using.
Consumable?
Consumable. A consumable.
No.
No? Okay.
I have never. I've been doing this for a long time.
Don't finish the sentence, because I have a really easy rebuttal.
A long time.
A really easy rebuttal.
A long time, and I have never.
You never shot enough.
Had a fucking magazine to throw away. There's never a point where I was like,
it's almost cheaper.
Hey, this spring's just not working. Let's throw this magazine
my Glock
away.
19, magazine number 4 would double feed every other time.
Do you remember,
I think that was you.
Do you remember in California when they didn't have to? They used to not have drop-free mags, and then they came out with drop-free. Remember when those mags were like $100?
Yep.
Drop-free?
Yeah. The original Glocks, you had to pull the mag out. Like when you fucking, the mag wouldn't fall out of the gun until they had the metal in the sides.
That's a European thing. That's why.
Then they came out with the newer like drop-free mags. That was what they were. Everybody's calling.
Sounds fancy.
It was like $100 for a fucking pistol mag in California.
Did you throw number 4 away?
No.
Where is it?
I got rid of the gun and got rid of all the mags, but I told them number 4 messes up. But if you want to practice double feeds, use number 4.
It's almost cheaper to buy a new PMag.
I've seen
like a rebuild kit for it.
Oh,
I've seen.
Can you rebuild a PMag? You can.
Not feed lips.
I actually
remember when fucking AR mags. Remember when AR mags didn't used to have all 4 feet in them, and then they came out with the green followers that had all 4 feet. They only had 2 pegs at the front. That's why sometimes they would do that weird rocking shit.
I take it back. I have thrown away magazines.
Metal ones.
Yes.
Because they crack.
They got run over by a tank.
Because they crack on the mouth.
Blowed up.
Sorry, guys.
Shot them.
And no HK magazines. All the fucking HK magazines that we got in country, the metal AR-15 magazines, every fucking one of them were cracking.
Across the top.
Across the top. Yeah. They would crack across the top. So
416 mags?
I don't know. They just started issuing out HK. They were
metal
HK metal mags, but I think they were just too hard. So they were just crack. These were actually steel mags. They were not aluminum.
Like Ruger.
And so they were cracking. They were cracking across that. So I didn't actually throw them away. I just took them back to the armory. And I cried a little bit when I handed them back in. I'm like, we can't use any of these fucking things. They're all broke.
Okay.
So yeah, I have gotten rid of mags.
So 28 or 30 rounds?
I do 28.
Okay.
It doesn't fucking matter. Well, the reason why is for when if you're putting it in on a fucking closed bolt.
Because you don't want to bruise the palm of your hand.
No, it's just sometimes it won't fucking go. It's just that simple. And even Pat Mac, I guarantee you, I got a rifle. For whatever reason, I got a rifle PMag combination that you cannot get that fucking magazine to click.
If it's a 30 or all the
yeah,
time?
if it's a 30, even if you beat it on the fucking table.
Pat was gangbanging.
Well,
he might.
Wait a minute though.
He might.
Was Pat gangbanging?
He told some gangbanging stories.
But there's
Pat
Larry and I don't know if Larry and Pat crossed paths.
I don't think they were the same time.
Do you think the gangbanging only happened?
Oh yeah,
Larry.
When Larry was gangbanging down in South America, that was when SF guys were gangbanging.
Oh man.
So I don't think
he told some gangbang stories.
But I think it's kind of like the new generation. He's probably got a
Porn's
different
only
name
gotten worse. So if you're going to go along that line,
he's probably got a different name.
I'm going to guess that Pat Mackin's gangbanging is
that's
way worse than Larry's.
That's where you fucked up.
I used to have all the Barnyard Follies and shit. Farmyard Follies. What was the name of the video?
The Barnyard Follies.
Is it Barnyard or Farmyard?
I thought it was Barnyard.
Maybe Farmyard was part 2.
Maybe.
It was on VHS tape.
When Larry Vickers was gangbanging.
You've probably never seen porn on a videotape.
I have.
When Larry Vickers was gangbanging,
yeah,
he was calling it gangbanging because of Bloods and Crips, not because of sex videos. So
he didn't know that. You didn't know that, did you?
I thought you meant gangbanging.
No.
No.
Holy shit. You can always tell because his eyes get bigger. He's like, oh, that's what that means.
Real definition of gangbanging.
The mom always came home to some shit stories are epic. 3 words after these. Hydraulic press channel. I have no idea what that's in regard to.
It's like this Dutch, it's some European dude that's got a hydraulic press. They just put random shit in it.
Okay. Any plans for a 44 Magnum shirt? No, nobody uses 44 Magnum.
Except Dirty Harry.
Most dangerous.
I'm looking for a Model 29 though.
Or a Desert Eagle 50 AE. Liberty Chick says, so, do we really have to remember to keep comments respectful and to follow our community guidelines as it states above every podcast I watch of yours now? Laugh my ass off. YouTube, you shall not silence me. Seriously, if anyone else seeing this. I saw it. I don't believe we put it there. You know what's really going fucking nuts right now? It's Facebook is going fucking insane. Facebook is in all the private groups. Now to get in, we have several private groups. Some of our private groups are so fucking private, they're secret. You can't find them, you can't search them, you can't share them, you can't do shit with them. We actually have to go out and invite you to come in, and you have to accept to come in, and then you can remove yourself. Facebook is all over inside the private groups right now, removing comments, deleting shit, banning shit, blocking shit before the admin or the owner of the page even sees it. They'll just remove it. And then you can see that they removed it and see what it was. A lot of it has no fucking rhyme or reason as to why they fucking removed it. So, Spearco, I have a MeWe page. Jack Spearco has a MeWe page. Everybody's got a MeWe page at this point. We have a couple thousand on our MeWe page. we were using it. We kind of bribed you guys because what we would do is we put the gear on MeWe first. So it gave you about a 10 or 15 minute advantage to buy the product when we would put it up for sale. Now, MeWe works in a manner like Facebook used to work and Instagram used to work. So if you're on my MeWe page and I make a post and you have your notifications on, you get a bell, a visible bell, you get an audible chime, or you get a vibration. So you know that somebody you are subscribed to on MeWe has made a post. And you'll be like, oh, SOE. And you will see that we have fucking purple backpacks or whatever it is. And you'll see them 15 minutes before they go to Instagram or Facebook. So what Spearco's been doing on Monday, they have MeWe Monday. He makes absolutely 0 posts on Facebook at all, in any of his closed groups, on any of his personal social media. He only makes all of his posts, all his interactions, all his fucking everything on MeWe. So what happened? He gained 2,000 followers on Monday today because people want to talk to Jack. So we might do something like that.
Just MeWe comment or MeWe content.
Just MeWe content. So if you want to buy whatever we have on Monday available, you got to go to MeWe. And the cool thing about MeWe is MeWe doesn't fucking show you similar shit or other bullshit yet. They're not as big. We can't post videos there. We can't do live feeds. But as far as posting links to stuff or whatever we want to post, it's on MeWe. So on MeWe, I haven't figured out how to change it to special operations equipment. It's under John Willis. If you want to be on our MeWe, just leave a comment. I'll post a link to it so you can find it easily. You have to request, and then I have to accept you. I go through a couple times a day. We're getting about 20 to 30 people a day at this point until we do a podcast or something like this, and we'll get a couple hundred more. But just keeping in mind, like Facebook, the closed groups, which is why we were doing that, because when we first started Facebook, everybody saw our shit, and it went from likes, and then it went to followers. So then you had to resubscribe, and then they took that away, and you had to click see first, and then they throttled that back to 10%, and you had to click again, and then they went through and unsubscribed a bunch of people. It's just getting fucking crazier and crazier. So we set up these closed groups. We developed these fucking closed groups. Everybody in the closed group sees our content. Now they're throttling that back. Every time I do a post in the morning, the videos you guys see, it says your post is performing well. Boost this post for $88, and we'll show it to 50,000 more people. Fuck, you go back and look at my videos a year ago when I do a live feed in the morning, I'd have 500 people. And within 3 hours, we would have fucking 50,000 people have viewed that for an average view time of 30 minutes. They've just throttled that back because they want you to have to pay. I spent $675,000 advertising and boosting with Facebook, and I think we are fucking done with that. So if you want to see what we're doing and see it on a reliable manner, MeWe, get on our MeWe page because you'll definitely see it there, at least until they change shit. Liberty Chick, YouTube just deletes mine on a regular basis, Edward Bentley says.
I think YouTube's on the way out anyways.
What do you think it's going to be?
Well, I think there's going to be somebody that is going to...
Facebook started allowing videos. And
not YouTube, I'm sorry, Facebook. I think Facebook's on the way out.
Maybe.
Because they're getting too... They're
draconian?
It's just not what it was. It's going to be like Friendsters. Somebody's going to come up with something new. Maybe it's MeWe. Maybe everybody's going to jump ship and go to MeWe. But I think if somebody models how Facebook originally was, it will kill Facebook. Because they're just... Right now, it's just about dollars and cents. They give two shits about the content.
Maybe we should start Lugal.
We should start Lugal.
Have you seen Hot Tub Time Machine?
Lugal. Have you seen Hot Tub Time Machine? And you don't know what Lugal is?
Motley Lou.
Motley Lou?
He hasn't
Lugal?
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
You just remember the bear in the jacuzzi, right? Is that the only thing you remember?
Answer the internet question number 6. Would you rather lose all your old memories or not be able to make new ones? It's about the same fucking thing.
I guess your answer dictates how happy you are with your past life and what you expect your future life to be.
I'm pretty fucking happy right now.
I'm not questioning if you are. My point is,
that's a crazy question. I don't have an answer to it.
If you decide to delete your old ones,
yeah,
you're really saying, I don't know, okay, my past hasn't been that great. But if you're like, no, I want to keep the past, that's saying you're expecting your future not to be that great.
Yeah, you'd have to give some more parameters. If you deleted all your old memories, you'd start over as a fucking 1-year-old tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Skull.
There's no advantage to it in either way.
Skull. They your name Skull. It's usually a shit talker that calls you Skull.
That's all right.
That dude's not. What do you use for home defense?
Barrett with a red dot.
Everything. It's just like the end of The Professional. Everyone.
What do you mean everyone?
I'm telling you right now, if there is a situation where I need to defend my home, there's gonna be a good 15-minute period where I'm just gonna be standing there going, maybe this.
I'm going straight to bazookas.
What's that?
I'm going straight to rocket launchers.
Yeah, it's a tough pick. There's currently there is everything available. I don't have any kids. I live with no kids. I live with 2 adult women who are relatively smart.
How did they get through the bear traps?
Yeah, I mean that's always the issue.
We're talking,
and so everything's available. Everything's available.
I have a revolver crossbow.
That would be badass.
It's pretty badass.
That would be badass. I saw that rubber band guy. You know the guy that makes the slingshots?
Yes.
The bald-headed guy who always hurts himself?
That's overseas.
Yeah. He made an automatic crossbow.
A Gatlin.
Yeah, I'm not fucking around. There actually is a fucking...
No, I know.
It's a crank and it goes boom, 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 and it shoots.
Yeah. So everything. But I would probably go to the shotgun.
Joshua. Clearly you've learned a lot of words. Just finished listening to 99-95. This is Blanchard. So I'm kind of future posting on this one. I love talking pharmacology. The most popular statins are atorvastatin, Lipitor, and Crestor. They are high cholesterol. They also wreck your liver. So much so, they have to monitor your liver function while you are on them. There is also research being done that they cause a lot more problems than that, specifically looking to see if they increase the risk of cancer. So, you may be thinking of sartans, which are for blood pressure. To Skully's point, yes, they are huge amounts of drugs in municipal water supplies because people keep thinking they are supposed to flush unused meds down the toilet. There are detectable amounts of all kinds of drugs in the water because the water treatment plants aren't designed to filter out molecules that small, and most of them can't be eliminated by other chemicals or heat. It becomes such a problem that pharmacies in and out of the hospital will take your unused medications to dispose of them for free just so these drugs don't end up in the water. I hate how the first line treatment for just about everything from a doctor's perspective is to throw a pill at it. Very few, you better be quiet saying that. Very few will recommend the correct way to fix those problems because most of them don't know or just fucking... Let's be honest, Josh. Who's buying lunch every day? Who's paying for the ski trips? Who's fucking paying the lease on the car? The fucking pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical reps, I should say, who are business majors and no longer have a pharmacology fucking degree.
But just you talking about that, I was reading this thing about what's the painkiller everybody uses now?
Fuck, I don't. Anyways,
the pain pills, and they were talking about they would do these events. So you can't, a pharmaceutical company can't really just pay a doc. Can't be like, hey doc, you sold 1,000 of our pills. Here's a check. So what they would do is they do these events in Florida where they would pay the doctor. So they would get their big dudes, whoever has been doling out the most pills, and they would put on a convention in Florida where they'd invite all these doctors to them, and then they would give them $500 to talk for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would literally just stand up and be like, hey, I'm Dr. Blue Blue Blue, and thank you for my check. And then sit down.
Very few will recommend the correct way to fix problems, which is get off your ass, get some exercise, and eat what the fuck you're supposed to. Trying not to be conspiracy theorists on this one, I'm sure there are doctors out there that get huge kickbacks from pharma, and that is what pushes their script pad. I genuinely think that the majority of doctors want to do the right thing. It's the patients themselves that don't want to put in the work or just want the pill because it takes the least amount of work. Got my newest Typhon Red Large tool bag Saturday. Have you changed the webbing you use? This one feels stiffer and more heavy duty than my other tool bags. It just depends where. It just depends fucking on the die lots, man. Just depends on the die lots of the webbing. John and Skully, what are your thoughts on former Navy SEAL Dan Crenshaw, who is a liberal that supports the TAPS Act, which in short takes more of our rights away? I don't know.
Well, Crenshaw's not a liberal.
I don't know anything about it. That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, Crenshaw's not a liberal, but...
Is that the patch guy?
Yeah, that's the eye patch guy. I don't know. TAPS, whatever.
Texas,
They're gonna...
He's a Texas dude, right?
I don't know where he's from, but he's
Senator
definitely not a liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about TAPS. I've heard some rumors about what it does. Look, the reality is you already have no privacy. You already have no... Whatever that law states, it's just a go-around. That's all it is. So it's not...
So Amanda got pulled over this morning on the way back from the gym. 60 and a fucking 40 or something, 45. I don't know what it was. He wrote her a ticket. We were on the side of the road for probably about 20 fucking minutes, which I don't get. He was the chief of police in New Johnsonville. And then he asked her for her social security number, which I've never heard fucking before. And then he asked for her phone number to write on the ticket, which I'd never heard before. I was sitting there. So I don't know what that's all about.
I'll bet Jayville has a lot of people not paying their tickets.
That's all they have is tickets. I mean, that's their only form of revenue.
Yeah. Social security number, though?
I don't know. All that means is that...
Sorry, I don't know it. I don't have it memorized.
All that means, like...
Yeah, it's not something that you have to show. It's not a...
Ever.
Well, I mean, you do for an employment, but it's not something you have to...
At that point,
that you can legally be detained for.
We were late to get back to the shop, get here, open everything up. Nobody in New Johnsonville will be getting a discount any longer. Whenever they come in, I'll be like, sorry, man. Fucking got to pay for this ticket your boss gave us. He's like, where are you going? Special operations equipment. Every one of your officers has our fucking duty belt on. Hey, guys. First time watching your YouTube video, but I have been listening to the podcast since the second episode. I'm a busy guy and don't normally have time to sit down and watch the video. Good news, you can podcast it. Your podcast helps pass the time at work. I work for a company making circuit boards for electrical power equipment. I am going to college to earn a bachelor's degree in chemistry, including taking classes during the summer. I also have a wife and 3 redheaded daughters, 2 of which are aged 2 and 3. I don't have the time to comment on your podcast as much as I would like, but just know that I look forward to going to work so I can listen to the podcast. Thank you guys, and thank you for the people that can comment all the time. Going back to a podcast a while ago, you were talking about having a church. The name of that church would have to First United Church of Truth Be Told. Again, thanks for doing what you're doing. Killer podcast, guys. My brother from another mother is 6'4", weighs around 270, and wears a size 17.5, 18.5 extra wide shoe, depending on the brand. He can only basketball shoes are the only shoes he can find that fit him without having to pay twice the amount for a regular size shoe. He's been having to wear basketball shoes since middle school. When I got married, he was my best man. We rented tuxes, and they had to special order his shoes.
Tell him to join the military. They'll get him all the shoes he needs.
Is that true?
Yeah, they have to. They'll get him cut. It's crazy. We had a kid in boot camp who had a fucking crazy ass foot, and they got him boots they don't even make this. And then a couple of weeks, they're like, here's your fucking boots, dummy.
Laugh out loud, that's funny. People around me do not understand when I tell them I don't have time for their beach either. I can't sit still that long. Yeah, I don't have time to fucking sit on it. The last thing I want to do is fucking go sit on fucking sand in the hot fucking heat. Back on podcast 99.2, I commented about being pulled for a random drug test at work. When I was done, they said, as always, no news is good news. That was 12 days ago, and there has been no news. So it looks like it's a thumbs up for Farm Extracts. Eric, Farm Extracts has a THC safe, and then they have one that might have some or does have some THC in it. The other thing, too, a lot of random drug tests at work, they're not fucking testing them. Like, you kind of roll those dice. Usually, they're after one person, and they draw in 2 or 3 others so that it looks fucking safe. They're not usually drug testing. They're not actually doing it a lot of times.
They're actually cost prohibited. So even when a place is doing, like, so for example, the military, they do drug tests. And they do a lot of them. Even that, they'll get 100 guys. They'll pick a number off of your just a number for Social Security. So like if your first number is 2, you're fucking going to do your piss test. Even when they send that thing a piss in, it's still randomly checked. They don't go through the box and check every fucking single box.
They don't taste every one.
Because it's just so you may have got lucky. Just don't push it. Don't think that you're getting over because they may have just not checked your piss.
There's different densities of expanding foam. We use stuff in 5-gallon buckets to reset a 60-foot tall power poles in the Padre Canyon after the 2013 flood, and those things are solid as a rock.
Well, hey, just start sending some of those 5-gallon buckets because the shit that they have at Home Depot didn't work at all.
There are skeletons dug up all over the world of people 8 to 10 feet tall, even bigger. They found in Tennessee, West Virginia, all over the world, but the mainstream media covers it up. Roy, I've seen that, man.
Virginia?
What'd you say?
So why has it got to be Tennessee and Virginia?
Where would you think tall people would come from?
I don't know. I mean, the problem is whenever you say something like that and then you're like, Bigfoot, Tennessee and Virginia. It's like, come on, California, Chicago, tall people.
I don't think that's what.
Come on, I know, but I'm just saying.
Although Tennessee does have Bigfoot.
It's always.
You know
Are you sure you weren't looking in the mirror with your shirt off?
I'm not that hairy.
Do you know the Tennessee Bigfoot Hunter Association dude up the road?
Yeah, he comes by every now and then.
He passed away.
Oh, did he really?
He fucking passed away, I believe, Saturday night, man.
That's too bad.
Yeah, Stacy Black passed away.
That's too bad. I wonder if anybody's carrying that torch. If anybody's gonna.
The group is. I mean,
if they're gonna keep on.
I think the deal was he was kind of like a member of another group, and like he writes and just how he speaks, very very country. And they would fucking tear him up over it. So he's like, fuck you guys. He started his own group. Fucking did pretty well. He had a lot of fun. He was out there chasing Bigfoot. Camping out expeditions and shit. I saw a lot of posts where here's Bigfoot, and I couldn't see Bigfoot. Like, he's camouflaged pretty good in that picture.
That's how you survive.
That wasn't Stacy posting those pics. But, I mean, there's some good fucking stories passed down from grandma and shit in there. So...
I don't have a problem with it. I think it'd be really fun.
Even if you go out there and don't see anything, to be with a bunch of motherfuckers out there hunting, looking for Bigfoot, and they're not out there trying to kill Bigfoot. It's a bunch of dudes out telling fucking campfire stories and shit, getting chewed up by chiggers, stinking. Fellas, lever gun 30-30, nice but expensive. Henry makes some awesome levers. 38 357 will do the job. Is as fun plinker. For someone that's recoil shy, 38 has 0 kick coming out of the long gun. John, let's talk tar and chip. Please get it. I want to know what you think. I'm going, you want me to spend the money before you have. How about you get it and you tell me?
What's tar and chip?
It's the
road covering.
It's what the road covering is.
Okay.
There's when we were heading to Jackson a couple weeks ago, take the truck to Toyota. Just normal service, right? There's a bunch of trucks pulling in at the gas station at the interstate there, and one of them was really clean. All of them were pretty clean for fucking tar trucks, right? So I go up to the dude, and it's like a fucking 20-year-old kid. I'm like, are you the dude? He's like, yeah, I go out and bid all the jobs. We just did the fireworks stand on the way to Walmart in Camden, so I need to go over there and look and see exactly what it is. I said, I've got fucking 400 feet of driveway coming in the property. I need to do something. He goes, we'll be happy to come out and quote it. So That's what it is. It's
You
not,
got his number or name?
yeah, I got a business card from him. Please get it. I want to know what you think. I'm going to be putting in about 1,000 feet of road on my property in Southern Virginia, but most things I read tell me it's not durable. I do gravel, but have a 900-pound Indian motorcycle, and that thing on gravel would be a disaster. It is a disaster on fucking gravel motorcycles. Funny, listen to Pierre say you changed what he listens to at the gym today, switching from music to motivation. I listen you guys, and a few others. Thanks for doing these, keeping me entertained while I lift that iron. So, tar and chip, the problem we have with most of it, you have to, there's highway grade, and then there's like commercial and fucking home grade stuff. We have semi trucks come in here, and UPS and FedEx. You know, we got heavy trucks and shit come in here, so it has to be durable, whatever we end up doing. At the gym, I listen to music. When I'm here, I'm listening to other things other than music, depending on what I'm doing. Like when I'm shipping, I can't listen to motivational speaking and shit like that. Usually, if I have to see it, I'm going to fuck up my shipping. I can listen to music and ship, but I can't listen to anything that is taking my thought at all while shipping. If I'm batching up orders and shit like that, I can listen to music. I cannot, if it requires thought, I cannot do it and do another task at the same time without the risk of that task being fucked up.
I don't listen to anything in the gym only because my phone doesn't work there.
Pandora works. Pandora has an offline mode.
I'll have to look into that.
Do you have Pandora?
Spotify.
Spotify fucking has an offline mode too. It's the whole fucking
I guess I have
thing.
to download a bunch of stuff.
You don't have to. I think everything you thumbs up or like or whatever in those, at least that's how it is in Pandora. It goes to your offline.
That's why, if you notice, I'd stop taking my headphones in.
That's the whole reason that Spotify was supposed to be so fucking awesome is that you can listen to it offline.
The super annoying thing that's almost got me downloading it or whatever. As soon as I get in my car, my Bluetooth's on, it connects and starts playing music. It's the most fucking annoying thing ever.
We paid X. We wanted that.
That's fucking white people problems.
Yeah,
over there. Jesus. Oh my God.
I'm just now in the realm of where my fucking car starts playing music
the fucking
automatically.
privilege runs deep over there.
My Porsche doesn't even.
Recognize.
My Porsches don't do that. Fucking the Toyota's the only one that auto connects and starts playing. Modern.
Did you hear about the guy that did? He made the Blank song.
No.
So this guy makes this iPhones. As soon as you plug them into a car, they automatically open iTunes and start playing the first song in order, like the first song in alphabetical order. And people are always complaining about it. So this dude makes a 1.5-minute like blank song, and names it somehow like it's like 4 A's in a row or something. Like no matter what, it's gonna be the first song. And his buddy was like, hey, let me get that. Hey, let me get that. Hey, let me get that. And his one buddy's like, yo, you should put this on iTunes and sell it. So he put it on iTunes. And
How does that do anything for you? It plays, so it's a 1.5 minute blank, then your shit starts playing. Or
well,
does it not?
it's meant to, by the time you get into the car, you plug your phone in, you can stop. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
he sold here's a whole article because he wrote for some, I don't know, he wrote for some paper or online website, but.
When I set fence posts, or 6x6 for deck, I dig down about 3 feet. I put a few inches of dry concrete mix in the bottom of the hole. Then I put my post in it, level it, keep it in place with chunks of rock, brick, and then pour a few inches of water in the bottom of the hole. Then dump the rest of the dry concrete mix in the hole, and then run the hose over the hole until it's submerged, and get a bar or a pipe and work the pipe around the hole to let all the water get down to the bottom and mix up after a few hours. You're good to go. He said hole a lot.
He likes the hole.
Lots of hole.
And then I think he said rod somewhere.
Rod. The Abram tank recently saw a short YouTube video of a few packages being fitted to an Abram. From what can be seen in the video, it appears to be reactive type armor or maybe a device at, or rather on the side of the turret that's to be retrofitted to the tank to extend the life of the Abrams. As you say, hopefully the powers that be will create a new enemy that can justify a nice new main battle tank. Possibly. get themselves into a big battle where the Abrams is somehow outgunned and badly beaten. Yes, I know it's a world-class tank.
It's got to be Cody.
That is very unlikely, but let's just pretend. So, they can get rid of the old tanks in this stage debacle and have an excuse for a nice new tank to meet the threat. Bloody hell, I'm a cynical cunt. Again, thanks for the videos. Also, lovely to see American Gun Chick. What a lovely lady. Gotta remember, though, the goal is not to get a new tank. That's the ends to the mean. The goal is that they sell the old tanks.
Well, while the M1 Abrams is a great tank from the 1980s, they've already licensed Egypt and Turkey to make those tanks. So just think about that. They've already licensed Egypt and Turkey to make those tanks, which means Egypt and Turkey are going to start selling those tanks to other people within the region. So what will end up happening is we will end up having to go, well, let's just say Egypt. Let's say we have to go fight Egypt. The army's going to be like, hey, man, they got tanks just like ours. We need new tanks that can beat those tanks. So that's all. That's the game plan. It's just like an F-35 Raptor just came up missing.
Oh yeah,
it disappeared.
How much did that cost?
It costs a fucking lot.
Million?
It costs as much. It costs as much
as an
to
aircraft
make
carrier.
No, to make one F-35 Raptor as it does to run the Marine Corps for a year. That's how much it costs.
What do you mean came up missing? Like, might be shot down, or we just don't know where this one on the books is?
we sold these things to the Japanese, and then one day the Japanese were out there and they're like, 1, 2.
It's each knee,
one,
pop,
two.
each knee. Holy fuck.
And so this thing,
I heard we sold them to Tijuana's Air Force.
so we were very, very upset at the Japanese
Ed's Manifesto.
because we believed that not that the Japanese did this, but the theory was that the Chinese snuck in the middle of the night, took it all apart, put it in their pocket, and flew back to China with it, and then put it back together, and right now they're trying to figure out how this fucking thing works.
Holy shit.
The official, which is 100% crazy when you think about this, the official story now is it was lost at sea.
Did you ever see Deal of the Century?
This is
It was lost at sea.
I feel like I could do great things just going in and consulting a little bit.
Dude, the crazy thing is, man,
because if someone
they would come in and literally kill us over that.
What?
Just anything, just possessing something, fucking much lesser than that.
Like
they come in and burn your house down, but they can just fucking lose it.
Let's say I pull out my cloak of invisibility.
You got the cloak of invisibility.
Okay, right? You with me on this?
Dungeons and Dragons or Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Okay. All right.
And I just start walking, and I start walking, and I start walking, and somehow get on an Air Force base, right? Because I feel like I can just stand there, the gate open, I walk in, right? Like.
You can do it during any air show.
Then I can walk over to the hangar and just look inside and be like, holy shit, this is an F-35. Right? Hatch is open, little ladder nice, hanging off the side. Nobody can see me. Now I'm sitting inside the jet.
Okay.
And it's on?
Yeah, no, there's no key.
You gotta know a little more than that.
There's no key.
I want to know how you can lose an F-35, but every time you're at an air show, there's dudes with fucking M4s or M14s surrounding the SR-71.
They're all unloaded.
If you I get where you're going. Your premise. If you know how to fly a plane, let's just say you don't have a cloak of invisibility, but you're Chinese and you kind of look a little Japanese.
It's very racist, sir.
Well, you just kind of look a little Japanese.
Japanese look way
and you
better
put on
than
the right
Chinese
uniform.
There should be badging. There should be scans.
You put on the right uniform. You walk with purpose because you got your helmet on, so nobody's going to be like...
Man. Well, we will take you some places we should not go.
Just walk with purpose.
We just walk with purpose, gets in the plane.
If you got a clipboard and a yellow vest... Dude,
I got the clipboard. I got the clipboard.
Think about that. Just look at it this way: like
we will drive. You will be totally uncomfortable. And Jeff will get out and have a conversation, and the dude will he'll unlock the gate, and we'll drive in, and you're like, how are we going to get out of here? The same way we got in here.
And the sad part is, I have this idea in my head, like if we just had hard hats and John was in a suit, we could go into any building. But we never have the heart. Whenever John's like, hey, let's go in there, it's kind of like, all right, we're going to figure this out. We'll get in there, and
we'll go the underground way.
People will wave as we drive through. They'll be like, hey,
dude,
what's
we
up?
drove in some shit. I'm like, we might have to decontaminate the truck just to take it fucking back out of here. Like, it's fucking crazy the places you can go if you just wave and smile at. So because they don't know who the fuck you are. They just assume you're the dude.
Yeah, craziness. So, I mean, if you think about it, every time we've had an aircraft that was stolen, so like even
Firefox,
even the Alaska airline guy, that little plane twin engine up there in Oregon, he was already in the air, like,
found out.
And somebody was like, "Hey, what's that plane doing up there?" Same thing with when the Air Force guy stole the F-16 and when the Marines stole the F-18.
Somebody took it for a joyride, right?
Yeah, they
brought it back.
They were already.
Were they able to land those?
Yep. Both of those aircraft
Even
came
though
back in the
neither
hole.
one of them were pilots, they were able to fucking land those?
I don't know about the Air Force guy. I'm sure he did it the same way the Marine did it.
Autopilot?
No. The hangar had a fucking trainer in it, and he had actually logged more hours in the trainer.
Oh shit!
Than the pilots had logged in the trainer, so he knew how to fly an F-18.
Yeah, we used to be able to go over to fucking Top Gun and get in their fucking trainer.
So he knew how to fly an F-18. It was just, do you walk out there and get in the plane and be like, "Woo, Tom Cruise, baby"?
This is the most petrifying thing I've ever.
And I will bet money. I will bet money that lad.
You gotta act like you belong there, man.
I'll bet that lad did not spend it. Well, he probably spent a weekend in the brig. Then they were just
how
like,
many people were taking their kids over there on the weekend and letting their kids fly in that fucking simulator?
Steve McQueen? Steve McQueen was in the Marine Corps. You know what he did? He stole an Amtrak and drove it down Oceanside Boulevard. After he painted it pink. And then he didn't last.
My dad allegedly stole a tank during the shit and drove it across town just to go see my mom because there's no way to. My mom tells the story that he shimmied up the turret and sat at the top of the gun and called her out, and she came out the window because she was on the 10th floor or whatever, and what the fuck are you doing? She goes, I just came to see you. How you doing? Everything good? All right, I'll see you later.
And that's
slid back
that's
down.
How Pierre got here.
Slid back down, got back in the tank, whipped it around, and left.
Did you hear Saudi Arabia just beheaded a woman publicly for witchcraft?
She probably showed her ankles or something.
Witchcraft.
Well, I mean, come on.
I want to go.
I
want to go see the rest of
Coming from the Middle East where they read tea leaves.
You can't just randomly have witches running around and shit.
I bet you she showed her ankles. And apparently Disneyland's like, keep an open mind. And they're like,
yeah, Alabama. They won't film in Alabama, but Saudi Arabia is completely fine. Yeah,
because there's a lot more money in Saudi Arabia.
I want to go see the rest of that. We might have to rescue the coven. We might be able to use them to our benefit to cast spells for us.
I would have liked to have been at that trial, even though I wouldn't have understood a word they said.
Dude, the Saudi Arabia trials.
It would have been interesting to hear.
Saudi Arabia trials are crazy. So you can't leave the United. Like if you're over there as a U.S. citizen, right? You get in some trouble. You're sequestered into your fucking estate. It's not like jail. You have to pay for it. And then you go before the court, and they hear your stuff, and then you wait another year to go back to plead your case. Like you might be there fucking 3 years before your fucking shit goes to trial.
Yeah, it's not a fun place to get in trouble.
John Willis, beach pajama party. I'm laughing at the thought. The vid is modernized versions of the newest M1A Abrams tank variant armor on the Defense News YouTube channel. Last comment. A few years ago, I was cleaning out a foreclosed house. My coworker was cleaning out the shed. I hear him holler and freak out and went outside, and he was holding half of a decomposed skunk. He said he thought it was a stuffed animal, so when he picked it up, it fell apart and covered him in skunk goo. Old boy stripped down to his boxers, But man, that was a long ride home. Lucky we were driving a company truck because he fucking stunk.
The old skunk.
And Dad, what'd you learn today?
Today was kind of...
Heavy wood chips are easier to rake downhill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did know that. No, the trail looks good and everything.
Yeah, it fucking way different, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Just a little bit. That all? That's all? That's your whole takeaway?
I mean, like I was saying, today there was work and it moved quick. Today moved quick. I'm not going to say today was kind of mindless, but like there was a lot of shipping that had to get done, so...
Food was good.
The food was really good. Oysters? Not oysters, I'm sorry. Scallops.
And salmon.
Salmon? I like the salmon when it's crispy.
What's that white stuff you put on
If he
fish
doubled
sticks?
the amount of salad on my plate, I wouldn't complain.
Request it.
I feel bad.
You're supposed to eat the salad actually after your meal.
To clean your palate, yeah.
No, to clean your shit out. Clean all your guts out. What's that white stuff you put on fish sticks?
Cum?
What's the white stuff?
I don't want to eat any of your fish sticks.
Yeah, we don't come to your house.
No fish. Thanks for letting me know.
What's that white stuff you put on fish sticks?
I do not personally eat fish sticks. It's poor people food. Hashtag don't be poor.
So were lobsters at one time.
So I don't know.
Tartar sauce is the answer he wants.
Oh, tartar sauce.
Tartar? How's it
Tartar?
spelled?
I think it is.
Is it tartar or tartar?
You
know who will know?
I think it's a class thing. I think if you're
Daniel Marshall. Well, no, they probably fish and chips is something different.
But I think it's a class thing. I think us poor people would say
fucking
tartar sauce.
Get a hold of Jack Osborne. Tell him to ask his dad.
I think the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous would call it tartar sauce.
Tartar.
I believe I heard the Queen.
You looked up tartar and it pulled up retard.
Pulled up the cat.
There's a cat. You're eating cat cum.
Fish sauce.
Fish sauce.
What's
that stuff you put? What's that stuff you put on salad? Salad sauce. What's it called?
Salad sauce. Salad sauce. Yeah, that's
butters.
Butter. Can I get some salad sauce?
What that motherfucker's doing?
Nothing. Smoking pot. Watching his friend get laid in his mom's room.
Where did that come from?
What?
Watching.
What?
What?
Yeah, like that.
What way?
Why would I say what way?
What would be? Yeah. Where does that come from?
Blueberry pancakes.
Jesus Christ. I wish you could see your face.
I like golden showers,
Whiskey.
platinum showers, diamond showers. I really like those.
Showers are good. But where does that fucking... Is that like how they used to...
Why am I saying what way? No, it's from... Why am I saying what way is from Hot Rod.
Our safety word is
whiskey. I'm talking about the tradition of...
What's up, YouTube? That's Peter McKinnon.
Okay.
What's up?
I'm done.
Go out there and I'm gonna have some dinner. You can have some fucking tartar sauce.
Do I have to put fish sticks in my mouth?
I know you'd rather have cum in your mouth. So.
Well, it's on the fish stick, so that makes it palatable.
I'm sure you can get some chick to give you some cum in your mouth. I'm sure she's carrying it around with her.
Walking around cum? That's the best.